Now, in regard to this Rasa-pancadhyayi, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur was once in Calcutta at the Gaudiya Math on the 30th of May 1930. He gave a speech there in 1930 on May 30th. He said there are two kinds of ras. One is the Nitya ras or eternal ras, and one is the Maharas. In the Adipurana, Nitya ras is described. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Maharas is described. There are also two kinds of this ras. There is the Saradiya Ras Pranim. It is described Anugrahaya Bhaktanam, to give compassion and mercy towards the Bhaktas. The Lord Sri Krishna appeared and performed his wonderful pastimes. Krishna came to give the charity of his transcendental ras, and then he began his Maharas. He arranged this very beautiful manner of distributing his ras. In the Vasanta season, in the spring, during the Madhumas, Krishna then performed his playful pastimes of another ras. If we hear this Madhurya ras from the Anuragi Bhaktas, then we can receive this Anugraha Kripa that Krishna came to give, this merciful connection to Sri Krishna, and we can make relation with Bhagavan and to the spiritual world. And then no longer we will have attraction towards material tastes and enjoyments. We will not be enamored by so many different enjoyable things in this world that are always plaguing the senses of the living entities in this world. The Maharas means when the ras began, the Saradiya ras, in the Kartik season, on the bank of the Jamuna, in the beautiful forests and groves of Braj, surrounded by beautiful blossoming flowers. At that time, Kamdev, Cupid himself, came. He arrived there. However, he became senseless there, and renunciation came in his heart. He himself became immersed in the ras of Krishna. He could not conquer anyone with his arrows of lust. He himself was defeated and became senseless. Normally, Kamdev or Cupid shoots his arrows of lust and makes other people completely maddened with lust, but now he himself became senseless by the transcendental rasa of Krishna. Everyone was in this way completely enamored by Sri Krishna's Ras Leela. To conquer over lust, or Kamdev, Cupid, this Ras Leela is the greatest pastime and the most powerful method to be free of lust. This is not a material, lustful pastime. Vyasdev's son, Sukadev Goswami, was completely renounced, and a lifelong brahmachari or celibate. He was completely renounced. He had no material lust. He did not even know the difference between men and women. One time, in Janakpuri, who is the father of Sita Devi, once Sukadev Goswami was present there. Sukadev Goswami was there naked, as he is always moving around naked, without any attachments. Narad Rishi also was present there. Then Janak Rishi had a test, and he gave one Singhasan to Narad Rishi and one to Sukadev Goswami. Then he sent his wife, who is renowned as the most beautiful woman in the world, and he gave her on a Singhasan right between Narad Rishi and Sukadev. In a very beautiful attire she came, very bewildering. Narad Rishi immediately offered her pranam and got up and left, but Sukadev Goswami was completely undisturbed. He had no connection to this world. He had no relationship with this world. He did not even know this is a man or this is a woman. He only saw everything on the platform of the soul and God. Also, the Bhagavatam was explained by Sukadeva Goswami, who was completely renounced before the greatest sages, the sannyasis, brahmacharis, who were lifelong celibates and completely in control of their senses. Sukadeva Goswami sat naked before them, and he described these beautiful pastimes of Krishna's Ras Leela. All these sages were present hearing. They had no kam vasana, no lustful reaction towards this Ras Leela. Even if they were present on the material world, still they were completely above it, and they showed that this Ras Leela, to hear it and to perform kirtan, that is the primary method of rising above this world and our material bondage towards lust and these other material urges. We need this medicine. This Ras Leela is the greatest form of medicine for the living entities. This is the medicine to free us from the material affliction in samsara. But until we have heard and done kirtan of this Ras Leela with faith and hearing from those who are qualified, then we cannot make any connection with Paramatma, with Krishna and with the spiritual reality. If we desire that, if we desire connection and to be the beloved object of the affection of Krishna, then certainly we must repeatedly and continuously perform Shravan and Kirtan of this Ras Leela. At the end of the Ras Leela, Sukadeva Goswami said, Vikriditam vrajavadubir idam cha Vishnu. This Ras Leela Katha is a rasayan, a spiritual rejuvenator which helps the jivas be freed from the disease of Bhava Rog, which has afflicted them for countless lives. Bhava Rog means the tendency towards enjoying with our object, with the senses of the objects through our body and our senses, which has plagued us for millions of lifetimes. How can we be free of that? This Ras Leela is the primary method to send that kam rog, that disease of the heart which is lust, away from us for all time and to place us at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan's name was given Manmata, Manmata, Madan Mohan, he who bewilders and conquers even Cupid himself. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, Prajabaduna Sangita, Krishna sang and played with all the gopis during the Ras Leela, and this indeed destroyed all kam rog. Upon hearing it properly, then Ujjvala Ras will come in the heart and always be present. If we hear this Ras Leela with faith it is essential. If we have faith, then it can work. So we hear this with faith, and from those who have faith and relationship, and then that lust in the heart, which is the disease of the living entities, will very quickly be vanquished. And then all the durvasanas, all the material impetuses towards sense enjoyment will vanish from our mind. Otherwise, however much austerities you may perform, however much charity you may give, how many vrats, however many sadhanas you may perform, what fruit will come? Only more entanglement in samsara, in worldly existence, and you will not be able to cross over this. You cannot be connected in relationship with Bhagavan in these methods unless the influence of the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance leaves your heart. Then you cannot be connected to Paramatma and Nirgun. Kam or lust is within us because of our connection to the three gunas and because of our karma and our connection with Prakriti. So we have to transcend this through a more powerful process. Durvasana, or the material seeds and desires in the heart, will not leave by any easy process or normal sadhana or dharma, artha, kama and moksha. But by coming under the guidance of the Brajagopis. Then the Prem Lata, the creeper of pure love and devotion, will surely blossom, and then we can enter into the transcendental realm. Therefore, we should take shelter of the teachings of Mahaprabhu. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains in the commentary of this sloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ras Leela is greater than all the other Leelas. This is the Chudamani, the crest jewel of all Krishna's pastimes. But we must hear it with faith. If we hear with faith and do kirtan, then that is the greatest process. Then, by continuously hearing and performing kirtan of Ras Leela, then certainly the disease of lust in the heart will vanish, even if it may be present while you're hearing, but by continuously hearing the Harikatha, gradually it will be diminished and will disappear. At the same time it will happen. You will attain love and your lust will be destroyed, like two lightnings flashing at once, two strikes of lightning. So you should hear this Harikatha and do kirtan with faith and determination and steadiness. Greed and faith, this is the only qualification or the only price required. Living entities in this world are always afflicted by lust. Whatever they do is to try to fulfill their desires for sense enjoyment or for position, prestige. But without this disease being destroyed, then how can we progress? If a person is very sick, then he cannot eat good foods. No matter what he tries to eat, he cannot digest it if he has that certain affliction. So we must take that medicine which will cure our disease. How are the Brajbasis beloved to Krishna? How are the Braj Devis beloved to Krishna? How are they serving Krishna? What is their love and how is their relationship? What is the nature of their unparalleled love? We must take this. That is the medicine. We see the Braja Gopis had no family attachment. They had no sense of material duties or shame or chastity. They were ready to give up everything just to please and serve Krishna. We may give up everything as sadhus, but still the tendency for pratishta, desire for prestige, is still there. We see the gopis gave up even this when they gave up their chastity, their shame, their consideration for what society would think of them. They did not even have a thought towards this. They gave it up at once without any worry. So these Brajdevis have natural love for Sri Krishna without any obstacle, without any deviation or dilution. Krishna said to them, therefore, I am eternally indebted to you. I can never fulfill my debt towards you. Why? You have no desire. You have no selfishness. You have no personal motive. If I say, please take a boon from me, then what will you say? Only more service. Then I am even more indebted to you by having to grant you my service. And Krishna also said, I cannot be Ananya like you are. So, Srimati Radhika and Lalita and Vishaka, how can we take their shelter? They are the topmost of all the gopis. Without Srimati Radhika, who is Raseshwari, there can be no Ras Leela. Without Radharani, Ras Leela is impossible. Sukadeva Goswami, who is the crest jewel of all Paramahamsas, like swan-like sages, he said Krishna is Shakshan Manmata Manmata, the cupid of all cupids, and the attractor of all attractors, who bewilders even Kamdev himself. He said, you may worship Ram, or Narayan, or Nrsingadev. You may be a Vaikuntha Bhakta or go there. Still, they are still considering and waiting for some boon from Krishna, and if he offers them something, they will take it. But when we take things from Krishna, then we may go distance from him. When we do our bhajan, then Krishna may come and offer us some boons or some fruits. these can act as an obstacle to enter into the eternal realm of Braj. But the Brajbasis and the Braj Devis especially, they do not want anything from Krishna, and if he offers them a boon, they only request his service and relationship with him. Cupid churns the minds of the jivas, and with his arrows of lust, he enjoys through them. But in the Ras Leela, Madan Kamdev, or Cupid himself, becomes senseless. He cannot affect Krishna and the gopis because there is no material lust in their pastimes. He himself therefore becomes senseless. He cannot attract anyone. He cannot churn their minds and bodies and enjoy with their senses. Therefore, if you want siddhi, if you want perfection, if you want to transcend this bodily and its urges, then you must take shelter of the Braja Gopis and this Madhurya Ras. Without that, it is not possible. Madan Mohan Krishna can help us defeat this Madan Cupid. Who is that Madan Mohan? He is with the gopis. Without the Braj Gopis, where is Madan Mohan? Life after life, we have this tendency towards enjoying in this world through our senses. But by taking shelter of Madan Mohan and the gopis, this will be washed away very quickly and easily. Then we can understand the real nature and worth of the word love. Without that, without being clean, we cannot understand what is real love. It is only imagination or speculation. It is all polluted with lust. No one understands what is selfish and pure love. There are many different kinds of swarta or selfishness, but only the Braj Gopis have this pure love. The Brajbasis have this pure love without any scent of personal motivation or selfishness. They only want to please Sri Krishna. People without pure love, who are afflicted by lust, they cannot understand this. What is that pure love? And if they try to imitate, they are only sahajiyas. Churadari, Goranganari, Nagari, they have so many different names. They are all apasampradayas. They try to imitate Krishna's pastimes, but they do not do anusharan. Anukaran and anusharan are two things. Anukaran means imitation, and anusharan means to take shelter and to surrender and be under guidance. That is anusharan. They do not take shelter and surrender at the lotus feet of Krishna and his associates. Therefore, when Krishna's Dham and his associates appear, and then his beauty manifests before the Brajadevis, Krishna's supreme beauty is only present and manifest before the gopis. Madan Mohan's Mohanatva means his ability to attract or be Mohan, that is only present where the gopis are. Otherwise, he does not have this Madan Mohan quality. During the Ras Leela, Krishna gives them all the bliss of doing service. That is the Nitya Chidananda. When you are connected or yukta with Krishna, then you taste this eternal happiness of connection and relation and service. It is beyond this world and even beyond our imagination. This Prema Mayi Seva, pure loving service, can manifest when we enter that world or are completely purified. Otherwise, it is Kama Mayi Seva. Our services are only connected to our desires, our material desires. That is Kama Mayi Seva. We serve externally, but there is some scent of selfishness or some lust is present there still until we achieve this prem. And the only method to achieve this prem is, as we heard, by hearing and by taking shelter of these pastimes with faith. There are so many beautiful pastimes of Krishna. However, each pastime completely steals the mind, but the Ras Leela steals the soul, the life and soul, not just the heart. The acharyas themselves say, we understand this, we know this, therefore we are saying like this. Other pastimes do not have this power. Therefore you should submerge yourself in the flood of this ras and harikatha. and perform Shravan, Kirtan and Smaran. Those who remember this Ras Lila, perform Smaran of this, then all the impurities in their hearts will be washed away. This pastime gives nivritti, renunciation for material affairs. It does not give pravritti or tendency to enjoy in this world. By taking shelter of this Ras Lila, we will enter the nivritti marg, the path of material renunciation or the transcendental path. We will not try to progress on the path of material enjoyment or the pravritti marg. Krishna said, I perform the pastimes in many varieties to please my devotees. What is the nature of these pastimes? By doing Shravan, Kirtan and Smaran of these pastimes, gradually their sweetness and their meanings will all enter the heart. The strong attachment towards this world which is present in our minds and hearts will then gradually diminish and disappear. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was in Calcutta in 1930 giving this speech in the Gaudiya Math. Prabhupada said in the 10th canto, this is the most important part of the Bhagavatam. Those who are sahajiyas and Sakhi Bekis, imitationists who are trying to imitate Krishna's pastimes, they cannot enter these pastimes. They cannot understand the 10th canto. They only engage these in their material sense enjoyment. They cannot understand the real meaning, therefore. They have no ability to manifest it for others, or to understand it themselves, or to become purified. They do not have any idea of what is the nirgun substance, the transcendental substance, and they have not taken shelter of a Sadguru under the shelter of the Braj Devis. Unless you have shelter of the Braj Devis and attain Gopi Bhav and Braja Bhav, you cannot understand Krishna Lila. You cannot even do kirtan. You do not have the qualification to do real kirtan or even to properly hear. By really doing, if you hear these pastimes and you are like a sahajiya, then you will only engage them in your speculative sahajiya moods. You will say, oh, there are so many gopis in Braj, I will go there and I will enjoy with all these beautiful girls in Braj. Therefore, they think, oh, it is such an easy thing to taste this ras. But they are only drowning in that flow or river of lust that they have been in for millions of lifetimes. They are like in hell. Some people speak very sweetly, but they only make people fall away from the true transcendental path. Therefore, you should hear from the right source. Otherwise, you will only be misled and will have so many misconceptions come in your mind. Those who hear this Rasa-pancadhyayi in the Srimad Bhagavatam from the true Vaishnavas, their spiritual greed will increase. And this is their qualification. They will have faith in greed. Then they can enter these pastimes gradually and perform Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran. This Bhagavatam is not any fiction or exaggeration. This is the actual pastimes of the Supreme Lord and His potencies. Therefore, if you take shelter of them and pray to these pastimes, pray to the Brajbasis, the Bhagavatam, the Dham, Krishna, then these can enter your heart and completely purify you of all contaminations. This Bhagavatam is nirmal, as the second verse describes, nirmat saranam satam. So nirmatsar, it can make you free of any duplicity, hypocrisy, any contaminations, any impurities. It will make you nirmal, free of any mal or filth of this world. So take shelter of the Granta Bhagavat. But how can you take shelter of the Granta Bhagavat? Through the Bhakta Bhagavat. What is the Swarup of the Bhagavatam? It is the form of Krishna himself. The 12 cantos each represent or are part of Krishna's beautiful divine transcendental form. The Bhagavatam itself describes how each canto is part of Krishna's body, like the first canto is his feet and the 10th canto is his beautiful face. So by taking shelter of the Bhagavatam, this is the same as taking shelter of Bhagavan in his own transcendental form. And also, by taking shelter of this Bhagavatam, then Krishna will send his associates, the Braj Gopis and their expansions and their servants, the Guru Varga, and they will help manifest this in our heart. They will give us spurti of the Bhagavatam, or realization of the Bhagavatam, and they will give us the energy, the faith, the determination to follow on this path of the Bhagavatam. Those who are sense enjoyers, who are cheaters, who are sahajiyas, who are imitationists, they're always cheating people. But those who have real faith and greed, they will not be cheated by these persons, and they will hear from the proper sources. They are always afflicted by their own lust. Therefore, they are not qualified to speak this Bhagavatam. They don't have the adhikar for this. And also, they don't have the adhikar to hear it. Unless we become nivritta, the Bhagavatam says, nivritta tarasher upagiya manas. Unless you are nivritta, means free of material desires, or the desire for any form of sense enjoyment, then you are not really qualified to preach this Bhagavatam. You don't have the adhikar to do even Shravan and Kirtan. So what can be done? How can we become Nivritta Trishna? Trishna means thirst, and Pravritta Trishna means material thirst. Nivritta Trishna means to be free of material thirsts. Trishna. So we should hear from those who are like this, Nivritta Tarsher, who are free of the desire for material tastes and enjoyments. And that is the medicine. Hearing from those personalities, they are the real doctors. By hearing from them, then we can also gradually become Nivritta Tarsher, and then we can truly enter the Bhagavatam. Like, for example, we are hearing it in one way now, but when we become Nivritta Tarsher, we will understand it more and more deeply, and truly be able to enter these pastimes. So we should hear from a real sadhu who is actually Nivritta Tarsher. Otherwise, we will be cheated, and we will really cheat ourselves. So we should hear from those who are under the guidance and like Shukadev Goswami, like our Srila Gurudev. And by sincere prayer to Krishna, we can have association of such personalities. By their mercy, Bhakti Devi will be pleased with us, and she will appear in our heart. Then our lives will be successful. Then we can actually have anubhav, or experience or understanding of this. This Bhagavatam is Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound, and it is not different from Krishna's own form. It is described that Krishna, when he departed from this world, dharma and everything became lost in this world. Dharma and Gyan, knowledge, austerity, vratas, proper etiquette, everything, all good qualities went with him to the transcendental abode, and it was like darkness covered the whole world. Everything was then in the kingdom of Kali Maharaj. Everyone was fighting and quarreling and absorbed in sinful activities. Kali Maharaj was giving dutam banam striyam sunam, gambling, intoxication. Everyone had the tendency only to eat, drink, and be merry, to tease each other, to torment each other, to fight, to speak so many useless talks, to engage in so many types of illicit types of enjoyment. So these are the gifts of Kali Maharaj, and these are all present in the world, rapidly increasing when Krishna departed. These type of people, they have no faith or love for pure things, sattvic things like cow milk, ghee, yogurt, and so forth. Instead, from morning time, they will take tamasic things and very rajasic things. They will take intoxicating things like alcohol and so many drugs, and then chai and coffee and so many things in Raja and Tamagun, but they will not have any taste for not nirgun and sattvic things. And they will always want to enjoy and play in this world, and their whole purpose of their life will to be trying to squeeze every drop of enjoyment out of their body and senses and the sense objects. So the world appeared hopeless when Krishna disappeared. So because Kali Maharaj was spreading his darkness over the entire world, which was previously the abode of pure Dharma. But Kali Maharaj came to drink up or to steal all the good qualities in this world and to give only anarthas, those things which are impediments to our spiritual progress. People who are therefore under the guidance and the shelter of Kali Maharaj and accepting his gifts, intoxication, gambling, enjoyment with prostitutes and so forth, they can never touch this Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam appeared like Sri Krishna himself, like the sun rising and dispelling darkness in the world. However, even though we have this opportunity for the Bhagavatam, if we are still under the shelter of Kali Maharaj, we cannot enter it. Therefore, we should not waste our time. What is the purpose of all these? Our work, our homes. Why are we decorating our bodies and trying to attract others? This is only being lost in the darkness of Kali Maharaj's grip. So how can we be saved from Kali Maharaj? To save the jivas under the influence of Kali Maharaj, Krishna appeared again like the sun, the rising sun of the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the sun in Kali Yuga. That is the only way that we can have spiritual consciousness. Otherwise we are blind in darkness. Without the Bhagavatam, we are all blind. This Bhagavatam can give us the ability to see not only external things, but to see our own soul and to see Sri Krishna himself, to see the eternal world. That is the power of the Srimad Bhagavatam and its effulgence. Those who take shelter of this Bhagavatam, therefore, even if you meditate on the Bhagavatam, if you speak on the Bhagavatam, if you hear the Bhagavatam with faith, if you hear it and then again repeat the Bhagavatam and meditate on the Bhagavatam, then your life becomes successful. You are truly the most fortunate. This is enough. This is so much already. This is the Puranarka, means the complete spiritual sun which dispels all the darkness of ignorance. By this Bhagavatam, by taking shelter of the Bhagavatam, you can see, oh look, how deeply I am immersed in ignorance, how much I am always afflicted by material desires for sense enjoyment. Then the Bhagavatam will help you. Therefore take shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna in the form of the Bhagavatam. Therefore Krishna manifested this Bhagavatam in the world. Also, what did he give? Sarva vidhanta saram hi Srimad Bhagavatam isyate tad rasa smrita triptasya nanyata shat rasi kvachit. This Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all the Vedas, Vedantas, all the Sastras. Therefore, Sukadeva Goswami said, Nigama kalpataror ghalitam phalam. This is the ripened fruit from the tree of Vedic knowledge. Therefore, if you take this nectarful fruit of the Bhagavatam, which has no seed, no skin, and is only juice and sweet nectar, then you don't need anything else. You do not need any material ras, any ras of knowledge or Brahma ras. All these things are different moods or different things we can taste or humors to enjoy. But if we taste this ras of the Bhagavatam, we will no longer have desire for material tastes or for the taste of high knowledge or even impersonal liberation and so forth. We will be completely satisfied. So these 12 cantos of the Bhagavatam are the limbs of Sri Krishna. First are his two beautiful lotus feet, then his calves, his knees, his waist, his thighs, his chest, his stomach, his arms, his neck, his throat, his beautiful face, his forehead. In this way, the Bhagavatam's 12 cantos are the limbs of Krishna, and the 10th canto is his beautiful sweet face. In this way is described, the 9 cantos were described first by Sukadeva Goswami. By this, by studying the 9 cantos, then our sansar will be destroyed, And we will understand what is the nature of bhakti, how are the bhaktas, what is the nature of Bhagavan. We hear about all the qualities of the real devotees. And then by this way we can progress, we can follow their example and be freed of entanglement in this world. And then we can gradually become qualified to enter the 10th canto and to perceive Krishna's beautiful pastimes in his beautiful face. This 10th canto, in the form of the Gopi Geet, that is the Rasa-pancadhyayi. The Rasa-pancadhyayi is the life airs of the Bhagavatam, or the essence of his beautiful, sweet face. As our sickness is gradually diminished, then spiritual or hunger will come. Like when we are very sick, we cannot feel any hunger, we cannot eat anything, but we see people in this world, they have no taste for hearing the Bhagavatam, for chanting Krishnam. We are so sick from material affliction, from the worldly diseases, and we are like cowherds, always hiding in our rooms. We have no taste for bhakti because we are so sick. How can we be free of this sickness? How can we be cured? Therefore we must take this medicine. Gradually, as the medicine is taken, then hunger or spiritual hunger can awaken, the desire to hear, to taste, to engage in bhakti. That will all awaken, and we will feel more and more hunger for that. We will never feel satisfied, and we will always want more. Even though our soul will feel completely satisfied, still we will want more and more. Then what is the real disease of this world, of the living entities? That is the disease of the heart, which is kam rog, that affliction of lust, or selfish desire to enjoy in this world without relation with God. That is what is destroying all our Brahma Shakti, all our spiritual power and potency, which is given by God. Like we hear how in Deepavali the child lit up his entire house, destroying his own house and burning himself. So this is like being mad. We are only causing ourselves suffering through our endeavor to enjoy in this world more and more and more. So by taking this medicine of the Bhagavatam properly, then our Brahma Shakti will increase, and we will become Urdhvareta, real yogis, who are never losing their spiritual potency or their ojas. And taste will increase more and more for Bhagavad Katha and so forth. Otherwise we see very lusty people, they have no energy, they're always lying weak. They cannot do Katha, Kirtan and Bhajan and Seva and Sadhan and Parikrama and so forth. They cannot properly follow. They cannot do Parikrama, they cannot do Dandavat Pranams, they cannot do service properly, they cannot chant their Harinam, they cannot follow Vrats, they cannot do anything because they are afflicted so much by lust. Why? It is said in Sastra, Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhya. Spiritual potency cannot be achieved. The transcendental world cannot be achieved by a weak, powerless person. We must have this Brahma Shakti. By following this Ras Leela, then the Brahma Shakti can develop. Otherwise it is like everything is wasted. We put so much effort into making a beautiful orchard or vegetable garden, and then we destroy everything. Why? Only because of our disease of the heart, which is lust. So Bhagavan gives Brahma Shakti to all living entities. All living entities have this power from God, energy, but they waste it in material lusty affairs. They are like donkeys, and when they waste all their energy, their life force, then they dance happily. They do not know what they are doing. We see when Ramchandra Kaviraj was going on a palanquin to be married with a big party and procession and band, then Srinivasacharya said, "Oh, alas, alas," he was in an ashram nearby, and he said, "Look, they have put garlands on a goat and they're taking it to the slaughterhouse, and the goat is dancing, thinking, oh, they are worshipping me, they have given me a garland, they are clapping and dancing and singing." He was very happily going along, but what are they doing? They are only going to take him to the butcher house to kill him. This family life is like that. At that time renunciation awoke in his heart, and he took shelter of Srinivasacharya and renounced this. So when we develop Brahma Shakti and become like Urdhvareta yogis, then taste will increase more and more. Otherwise, however much you may tell people, They cannot have this taste. They will do it by force. All their endeavors in bhakti will be as if by great, great endeavor without any real taste. But the Sahajias, they only misuse their energy more and more, and therefore they don't speak the real Bhagavatam. In the name of the Bhagavatam, they will speak so many foolish material things, stories, this and that, but not any real essence of the Bhagavatam will be given. They will connect so many incorrect misconceptions to the Bhagavatam and speak about these things and only harm people. The Sahajias speak the Bhagavatam but only make a business out of it and only cheat others, speaking many things to make them happy and more engaged in sense enjoyment in this world. But the Bhagavatam is hidden to them. They cannot understand it or see it or touch it. They do not understand anything of the Bhagavatam. They only speak so much speculation to engage people in the karma marg, path of fruitive endeavor in this world. When Rukmini Vivaha comes, the story of Rukmini's wedding, they will make such a big ceremony and glorify material household life so much. They will spend a whole day making a whole ceremony over this, and then at Ras Leela they will make a whole new ceremony and glorify material affairs and dance and sing and play. So many boys and girls will dance and sing and embrace one another. Is this Ras Leela? This is not the medicine, this is the disease. Therefore, how can we truly enter the Bhagavatam? Those who are Sahajiya preachers, they cannot help anyone. Sukadeva Goswami gave this real essence of the Bhagavatam into his true lineage, his true parampara. By taking shelter of those who are in the real parampara of Sukadeva Goswami, then we can understand this Bhagavatam and enter it. Otherwise, people are just cheating one another. Sukadeva Goswami mercifully distributed this Bhagavatam to the world. But unless one is Nivrittatar shared, he cannot distribute this like Sukadeva Goswami. This Bhagavatam is not related to Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. It is beyond liberation. Therefore we say, how can we cross beyond samsara and enter the ocean of Prem Ras? By taking shelter of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we can enter this. If we want to take shelter of this Bhagavatam first, we must take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu and the Panchatattva, and then we can get spiritual strength by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. Then, by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, we can understand Gaur Hari and receive his connection of mercy. But without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, it is not possible. And without Sadguru, it is not possible. Then we can understand the Bhagavatam, but without Guru's mercy, it is impossible. Therefore, those who have so many material desires, so many anyabilasis, so those who are karmis, material fruitive workers, those who are gyanis, engaged in dry speculative knowledge, they cannot touch the Bhagavatam, and they mix so many things inside their kata. It is like taking very nice juice and mixing alcohol in it, or taking very nice milk and mixing poison in it. These type of people, what do? It is like taking beautiful, nice, fresh fruit juice and then turning it into alcohol and distributing that. They are not giving the real Bhagavatam. You can look in the villages what they are doing. They will take rice and put it in the ground and for weeks and months turn it into wine and then take that and become intoxicated and waste all their energy in gross sense enjoyment. They are all the followers of Kali Maharaj, and they have so much taste and attraction towards the poison of Kali Maharaj. And the Sahajiyas are like this as well. They are always engaged in drinking and making merry. Therefore, they cannot touch the Bhagavatam. If there is so much drama, like theatre and dance and such a big performance around the Bhagavatam, this is not the real Bhagavatam. This is only to cheat and attract people towards them and to try to steal their wealth. We don't see Sukadeva Goswami was always having like dancing and parties around the Bhagavatam. What is the Parakya Vichar, the real mood of the Bhagavatam in the line of the Brajagopis? In the Paramore Ras, the mood is, Krishna is my beloved. Krishna is the Pranpati, the master of all souls, all living entities. If we can develop mood of service towards him, then we can gradually enter Braj. But material tastes and afflictions will never let us serve Krishna and be connected to him. If people say, oh, sit down, chant Harinam, do 1 lakh Harinam, do not waste your time only eating and sleeping, then people will say, no, this is only waste of time, I will do so many different karmas. They cannot do seva and bhakti and Harinam day and night. They think, oh, I will be in a prison doing bhakti all day. That is not possible. It is only a waste of time. People will go, however, everywhere, licking everyone's toes just for a little money from them or a little enjoyment from them. People will say, oh, you want me to do bhakti? You want me to sit and chant all day? What, am I, a stone? No. If you worship Bhagavan, he is stone and he will make you stone. You worship the deity, you will just become stone like him. So we should work in this world, we should enjoy as much as we can. This is their philosophy. And they preach like this as well. And because they are themselves inert, like asleep in Maya, then they try to make Bhagavan like that as well. And they say, oh, Bhagavan has no form, Bhagavan has no consciousness, Bhagavan is only impersonal Brahman. Then they take away Krishna's form, qualities, figure, swarup, everything. Why? Because they themselves are like this. And they think, oh, if God is there, if Krishna has form, qualities and everything, then I will not be able to act always independently. They know I'm doing wrong, so they say, oh, God does not exist, or God has no form, God is impersonal. Then we have no responsibility for our actions, we can do whatever we like independently. But if we have faith in God, then we will not do so many foolish, sinful activities in front of the Lord, and we will not waste our time in this world. We will actually properly engage in dharma. Therefore people are preaching like this everywhere. There is no God, God has no form. As long as there is Jad Ras, then we will have Svatantrata or independence, as long as we are afflicted by these material tastes. But when we surrender to Krishna's desire, to Krishna's will, under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnavas, then we can become Paratantra. Our goal is not freedom and independence. Our goal is dependence and surrender and servitude. And without Krishna's affection, without connection to Sri Radha Krishna, we understand our life has no meaning or purpose. So gradually we can transcend this Jad world, inert world, and enter into the Chit or spiritual realm. And then we begin to relish the real ras of the spiritual world. That is Nigama Kalpaturor Galitam Phalam. Then we can taste that real fruit of the Bhagavatam, which is described to be like a mango without skin or seed, but only nectar. But we must rise above this world and material tastes, and then we can begin to relish that fruit of the Bhagavatam. We see in this world material fruits, they only cause us suffering, but the spiritual fruits are not like that. We see the Bhagavatam has no bad side effect, does not even have any skin or seed, it is only sweetness and nectar. But we must develop the qualification in order to be able to taste it. You can do other sadhanas and you will get material fruits, but by taking shelter of the Bhagavatam, doing anushilan of the Bhagavatam, what fruit will come? Only nirgun tattva, aprakrit tattva. You will not receive anything of this world or for this world. These days, those who mostly speak the Bhagavatam, it is only to get material benefits and fruits. They say, follow the Bhagavatam, then you will get a son, you will be wealthy, you will get this, you will get that. Sukadeva Goswami gave the Bhagavatam 7 days and nights, 24 hours a day. But what are we like? Oh, we think, oh, now we see the Bhagavatams they do, or they speak for 5-10 minutes, then they do some song with many instruments, then they have a dance, then they give out drinks and nice sweets. Is this the Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is Harikatha, but their Bhagavata is only dancing and singing and playing. They have so many different musical instruments and so much different drama. But what is the substance? Did Sukadeva Goswami do the Bhagavatam in a beautiful elaborate hotel and have a buffet and a whole band to play varieties of instruments and attractive girls to dance and sing and make everyone happy? Was this how he spoke the Bhagavatam? Sukadeva Goswami once asked Parikshit Maharaj, oh, are you tired? Do you like to rest? Would you want to eat or drink something? Do you want to meet with someone? Do you want a break? Then Parikshit Maharaj said, oh, I do not need anything. That ras you have given me to drink, that has taken away my hunger, my thirst, my sleepiness, my exhaustion, everything. The real Bhagavatam is separate from all these things, and it helps us enter that transcendental path. Therefore, that Bhagavatam is sunirmal, completely pure, and completely beyond matter. This is Akila Rasamrita Sindhu Krishna, Krishna who is the emporium or the embodiment of all the different mellows and relationships. After we become mukta, still we will continuously taste this Bhagavat Ras. Even those who are liberated sages, still they're always relishing Krishna's Ras. Material, prose, poetry cannot touch this Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam is transcendental sound. It is not any material poetry or writing. Sukadeva Goswami did not give anything else. Other people said, oh, Parikshit Maharaj, now you will die soon, you should give so much charity, you should do vrat, you should do this top, this and that. But when Sukadeva Goswami came, he didn't say, oh, do this yagya, oh, do this charity, do this, do that. He said, sit down and you hear. All his life, Parikshit Maharaj was doing these things, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but at the end, what did he get? Only the curse to die in 7 days. By the result of all this, he only went and he disrespected a sadhu and was cursed. But when he heard the Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, then did he have this tendency still to disrespect sadhus, to only engage in material dharma and karma? Everything was washed away. Therefore, by real kirtan, we can become purified by those under the guidance of Sukadeva Goswami. Then we can become gunatit, or beyond the modes of nature. Therefore, Prabhupada said, in the Rasa-pancadhyayi, there's Brahmar Geet, Gopi Geet, Yugal Geet. We should certainly take shelter of these Rasa-pancadhyayi, but under the proper guidance, with the proper mood, with the correct attitude and faith. Those who are prakrita sahajyas, they are only cheaters. It is like they are taking an unripe fruit and trying to taste that. They are trying to enjoy these transcendental moods, but instead they are only tasting material affairs. They do not let the Bhagavatam or their qualification mature, and they try to imitate Krishna's pastimes. Therefore it is only external show and performance art. They cannot touch the real meanings of Brahmar Geet, the prayers of the song of Radharani, or the Gopi Geet. They cannot touch even a particle of this. Those who are free of Nama Parad and Seva Parad, Vaishnava Parad, and those who are present above this world, then who are always absorbed in Krishna's service, that person, free of all these aparads and anarthas, he can give Chid Anushilan, or he can help us and be completely engaged in the transcendental world. And he can establish us in Atma Tattva, knowledge and realization of the soul. Those persons can go to Krishna who are under the shelter of such a personality and hearing from him. Rupa Goswami Prabhu, who is none other than Rupa Manjari. Through him, Mahaprabhu distributed all the bhakti ras in this world. And through Sanatana Goswami and the 6 Goswamis, Mahaprabhu distributed this Braja ras, Braja bhakti ras. And by the mercy of these 6 Goswamis and by our Gaudiya Guru Varga in the Rupanuga line, then we can enter this Rasa-pancadhyayi. But without them, it is not possible. This Rasa-pancadhyayi is the 5 life errors of the Bhagavatam. But in this Rasa-pancadhyayi there is no anitya dharma or jad dharma, nothing of this temporary material world. Karmis, Gyanis therefore cannot enter within this Bhagavatam, because they are all of this world, and absorbed in this world, and advancement in this world, or endeavoring towards mukti. A bee may be outside a glass bottle of honey, but it can never taste the honey. So these Karmis, Gyanis, Hajiyas, they're all showing the Bhagavatam, but it's inside a glass jar, and they're outside trying to taste it, but they can never taste it. You may dance and sing and run around in circles around the glass jar, but you will never taste the honey. This is how they are doing Bhagavatam. Only a big celebration around the glass bottle, but no one is able to taste even a drop of the honey. Only by taking shelter of our Rupanuga Guru Varga can we taste this. If someone has diarrhea or very bad diseases, the liver and so forth, if you say, oh, you should go and eat nice foods, why are you fasting? Why aren't you eating nicely? But they cannot digest anything. They cannot taste anything. Anything they eat, they pass out or they vomit. However much nice things you may feed them, they cannot enjoy anything. So that is our affliction. That is our unfortunate condition. We have this disease. We are dying ourselves and we are also killing others. And we cannot be free of these things. We are all completely bound by this. Therefore, we should give up our restlessness in this world and we should be fixed. And we should also not try to stand on the shoulders of Vaishnavas or stand on the heads of Vaishnavas. We see in this world, what do people do? They come to Vaishnavas and then very soon they start controlling everyone, telling everyone what to do, even trying to control Guru and Vaishnavas. This is like trying to stand on the head of Guru and Vaishnavas. We cannot touch the Bhagavatam like this. We must take shelter of the lotus feet. Surrender. Be under guidance. Not trying to make them be under our guidance. Those who take this ras, they will not try to be like this. They will not try to control everyone. They themselves will pray and have humility. And then those who have this proper mood, who always consider themselves the servant of the servant and who are very eager to always maintain this mood of service and who always help others become engaged in this mood of service, then they will receive the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas and the Rupanuga Guru Varga and enter into this Bhagavatam. Those who have diseases like epilepsy, when they fall on the ground and contort and have many spasms, is that sattvic vikar? Is that spiritual manifestations? Is that the same as the devotees falling senseless or having ecstatic emotions erupt? This is completely different. And also people sometimes try to display these astasattvic vikars, but it is only false pretense. The devotees will not praise material people, and they also will not reject them or even think about them. They are only absorbed in Krishna's Nam, Rup, Gun and Lila. They are not absorbed in the Nam, Rup, Gun and Lila of materialistic people. When materialistic people come, will Vaishnavas want to sit and engage in prajalpa with them day and night? Oh, how are you doing? How is your family? Is everyone happy? Are you enjoying? Are you getting so much wealth and promotion? What is the benefit of any of this? What is the gain for anyone? Sahajyas, however, they do not follow the guidance of Rupa Goswami. They only do kirtan of Maya day and night. Oh, what do they speak? Hour after hour they can engage in materialistic gossip. What are they saying? Who can know? They're only croaking like frogs, but they cannot do Krishna kirtan. You say, oh, you are speaking for hours and hours and hours. So do a little kirtan, do a little stutis and prayers, pray to Krishna, do some good seva or work. They'll say, no, I have no time for that. Say, oh, memorize a sloka. Oh, I have no time for that. They can remember hundreds of phone numbers and names and materialistic affairs and stories, but they cannot remember even one sloka or kirtan. Oh, they say, I have no intelligence for this, no mind for this. Then who has stolen your intelligence? What thief has come and stolen your mind and intelligence? Oh, I don't have any mind for this. Then who stole your mind? You say, oh, I don't feel like it. Then who has taken this? They do not take shelter of Rupa Goswami. If you take shelter of Rupa Goswami truly, then certainly you will do Krishna kirtan. In Seva Kunj, at Radha Kunj, or in all the different places of Braj, you will always be taking shelter of the holy names. And you will be absorbed in the eightfold daily pastimes of Radha Krishna. You will be completely immersed in this. You will not know when is day, when is night, the door is open, the door is closed, I am alone. Where am I? You are not present in this body then. You are only present with your soul in antardasya, internal absorption. You don't know what is day or night, who came, who went. Your consciousness is no longer in this world then. Because you have entered Astakali Lila, you have no time to waste. You are in the eightfold pastimes of Krishna and Srimati Radhika and always present serving there, then you are completely drowning in service and relationship there. Other people, however, we see they are so immersed in material enjoyments and affairs and work and karma that they are like madmen, always running around in circles. They have become completely crazy. We see sadhus absorbed in real bhakti, they can be very peaceful. They are absorbed in Astakali Lila. But those who are the opposite, they're always running around in Maya, in all directions, trying to get higher positions, to try and get more and more enjoyment. And we see on both sides they are pagal. On one side the devotees are pagal, they are like madmen. And they have no concern for this world, they have no relationship with anyone in this world, they have no desire for anything in this world, they are like mad to this world. And on the other hand, we see everyone else is also crazy, but crazy like crazy for Jadras. So how can we become free of the madness of this world and enter the spiritual madness? We must come into association of those who are spiritually mad. We come into their guidance, and then gradually their moods will come into us. We will develop their moods of separation, their moods of service. And if they do not, then gradually we will feel, oh, today I did not finish my 64 rounds. Oh, my day is spoiled. Oh, today I did not do kirtan. Today I did not complete my service in Astakali Lila. Then we will feel like our life is completely spoiled. And then Anya Bilas, Gyan Karma, all these things will just be like a far-off dream. What are sadhus doing? What do people know? What is the work of a sadhu? Oh, they are just sitting in their room day and night, eating. Then people think, oh, they are just wasting their time and enjoying off the work of everyone else. But what are they doing? Materialistic people say, oh, you are just sitting and eating. And then the sadhus say, oh, you're only running around in circles eating, enjoying. You are like a donkey. You have no time for anything. You're only day and night running here and there for material pursuits. And then they criticize the sadhu, say, oh, you're only sitting in your room doing nothing and enjoying the work of everyone else. Said, yes, you are working and I'm enjoying. So you should be like me. You should be like a sadhu. Stop being like a donkey. And real sadhus, they are not panchupasiks. They are not worshipping Durga, Ganesh, Surya. They are not teaching panchupasana. We see people preach the Bhagavatam and they say, worship Ganesh, worship Durga, worship Shiva. They say, make murtis of all these deities, and then as soon as you get what you want, throw them away. They're only a means to an end. Bhagavan's service is not like that. It is eternal. It is not something like you do for some time and then receiving the fruit you throw it away. So, the Srimad Bhagavatam, that is Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound. That is the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is not a material thing for any material ends or pursuit. Therefore, continuously hear and do kirtan of this Bhagavatam. Again and again relish these verses of the Bhagavatam. Even if you take shelter of one verse or half a verse or one word or even one syllable, if you offer pranam to the Bhagavatam, do parikrama of the Bhagavatam, that is enough. With respect and faith, then your life will become successful. Prabhupada said, if you take shelter of the Bhagavatam, certainly you will taste and enter this transcendental rasa. You will become Rupanuga, and you will become the recipient of unlimited transcendental wealth. So we should endeavor for that. Then nothing practical will ever be able to touch us. We will always be Krishna Anushilan. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to manifest this Unnata Ujjvala Ras, he came to this world and he engaged the Goswamis to distribute it. Mahaprabhu did not come to give us Jada Ras. Mahaprabhu did not distribute food and clothes, halava and puris, and help people. He did not open hospitals and give medicine. People do this social work. Oh, this is only to try to cheat people. But Mahaprabhu did not cheat people like this. He did not give any mishra, mixed thing. He gave something beyond everything in this world, which is the greatest medicine for the jivas, which can help them actually attain their real purpose and their real happiness and satisfaction. So, Sri Gaur Hari came and gave this Bhagavatam. He said the Bhagavatam is the only evidence and the most pure shelter. He said, follow the shelter of the gopis, follow their worship, Ramya Kachit Upasana. This Bhagavatam is completely pure and is the most dear to the Vaishnavas. This is Mahaprabhu's opinion. Do not give respect to others like you give to the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the only life and soul of us, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And the Goswamis, Granthas, they are all further expansions of the Srimad Bhagavatam, illuminating the glories of the Bhagavatam. So take shelter of this Bhagavatam, the Bhakta Bhagavats and Grantha Bhagavats. Then you can attain Bhagavan's service and relationship. This is the consideration of Mahaprabhu. What is Aradhya? Krishna, the Nanda Nandan, son of Nanda Maharaj. He did not glorify Dwarkadish or Devaki Nandan, Vasudev Nandan. He said Vrajesh Sataniya, the son of the king of Braj. None other. He is our Aradhya, most worshipful. What is the process of Upasana, the worship? How the gopis, the Brajadevis performed Upasana. Follow their Upasana. People say, first do Prayaschitta, first do Yoga, Tapasya. Then you can do your bhajan, do pranayam, do so many material yogic exercises. If you do pranayam, what is the benefit for the soul? What relation does that have to the soul? What will the Paramatma and Atma get? Therefore, don't waste your time in these frivolous material pursuits. Prabhupada, Saraswati Thakur said, Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar, when they were present in Puri, Swarup Damodar prayed with this verse. O Mahaprabhu, the ocean of mercy, please give me your mercy. Please free me of all material shok and lamentation. You are he who ends all debates in conflicts of the sastras. And you can bestow the transcendental bliss of bhakti. You give the Madhurya Maryada, proper process of entering Madhurya and serving in Madhurya Ras. So this is Prabhupada's introduction and his speech. From tomorrow, we will begin the first chapter and the first sloka of the Rasa-pancadhyayi. By the Guru Varga's mercy, we'll try to enter this. Without their mercy, it is not possible. Therefore, we pray to Srila Gurudev. Unless we pray to him, then we cannot do Shravan and Kirtan. Therefore, pray to Srila Gurudev. Be like a beggar at the feet of Srila Gurudev. And in this way, we can do Shravan and Kirtan of the Ras Leela and Rasa-pancadhyayi. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.